Make sure to check out what honesty feels like coming up next.
Is Tuesday night. Welcome back to What Honesty Feels Like with Christine Sawicky. I can't stop laughing. I have two awesome people in studio today. I have actually my co-host for this evening, who is a former guest, and he's back. His name is Brett Roberts. We've been laughing for a while now, and I've got in studio guest also very talented Will Dearborn. So the reason I'm laughing is because we, first of all, I'm there's overpopulation of males in here, and I'm getting bombarded. Brett's my co-host for tonight, and he's attacking me, and I feel like, oh my gosh, it's like the battle of the sexes, but I will prevail. I always do. It doesn't matter if there's two males in here. I can handle this.
Attacking you?
Literally.
So a response is attack.
No. Do not switch the story up, Brett. On air. Do not do it. I'm too good for all this stuff.
You're so the victim.
But no, okay, so talking about like guys, like I'm definitely in my comfort zone, which Brett had mentioned earlier. It's all guys and me, usually.
Well, you mentioned that you felt like you're in a frat house surrounded by a bunch of dudes. So I said, well, isn't that your comfort zone?
Pretty much. I'm always surrounded by guys. I do have a lot of male friends. Some mature, some not. I love guys. I think they're great. But there's, you should have seen it today, Brett. I was actually trying to set up. I was like the wingman. And I did a pretty good job. I actually tweeted about this earlier today. There was this guy, he was trying to close the deal with the girl. And I was like, listen. And I had to like pull him aside. I said, we got a couple issues we got to discuss. I said, her haircut is terrible. That thing needs to be changed. I'm like, you're going to have to put the bill. You're going to have to recut her hair and start over. Because it's not going to make the cut. We can condition that. And said on top of it.
So you started with the fashions.
I did. Because I saw the inside. I thought she was sweet. I thought she had potential.
You saw the inside, but you're talking about her hair.
Right, because we have to fix the outside.
I guess the hair grows from the inside.
No. Not only did she say that, or did I notice that, then I was like, oh, do you have enough money to buy her new wardrobe? I said, because you got to upgrade her. And he started laughing. I wingmaned it. I closed the deal for him.
Yeah, I would have walked away if you were my wingman goose. Because
no, that's not true. No, I am the number one. I am the number one wing girl. I'm telling you. So anyway, for all of you listening, like I said, Brett Roberts is here co-hosting with me. I'm super excited to have him here. He's hilarious. As you know, he's the CEO of Bama USA, cage fighting. He was second guest on my show when I started?
I think so, yeah. I think it was your second week.
And he loves it so much that he came back.
Well, that and you're right down the street from my mom and dad.
Come on. Come on. Feed my ego. I'm just kidding. So no, we're lucky to have him. Brett, so what's going on in Bama USA?
Well, we just wrapped up another fight last weekend at the Commerce Casino for Bad Beat 10, professional mixed martial arts fights, and we had a pretty sick card. Landed with 9 fights. It was the toughest card I've ever put together in my life because we had 17 fighters fall off in a matter of 4 weeks. From 4 weeks out until actually weigh-ins. So we were matching fights up to the very last minute. Unfortunately, we had some good fighters that were willing to fight each other, and we still came out on top with 9 fights. And it was an exciting night, title fight that went down between Chris Culley and Jesse Newell, and it was a 4-round battle, just a bloody war.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Nice. And didn't you say that somebody stopped by? Can we talk about that or no?
Yeah. A lot of people stopped by.
Which is the FX.
Oh no. Well, we had.
Sorry.
More importantly, the people that stopped by, we had like Danny Trejo came out to the show. He was there again. He's one of our biggest fans. He's an awesome guy. Crowd loves him. Sean Cannon from. I'm gonna get this one wrong. There's another guy came out from Young and the Restless, but Sean Cannon, who's an actor from Days of Our Lives, I think it is, one of those soap operas. His wife Michelle Cannon. We had some awesome fighters such as Vladimir Matychenko, former UFC fighter. Who else do we have out there? I'm just kind of drawing blanks. I forgot where I didn't think you're.
It's because you're nervous because you didn't realize how hard it is to host a show.
Well, I can go pull up notes like you have.
I don't. No. Have I looked at the sheet?
No,
you have your computer in front of you with notes.
I haven't even glanced. Don't even try to play that card.
All right.
He's nervous.
All right. Nervous.
Do we have Brett Roberts nervous? You guys, he puts together fights.
I don't get. I get nervous like after the situation.
Do you?
Yeah, like if I'm almost in a car accident, like I can handle all that stuff in maneuvering and everything else, and then like 40 seconds later, I get nervous.
So you have PS.
So it's like
what is it? Post-traumatic stress syndrome.
No, it's not. It's just after. Yeah, I guess, but it doesn't last very long. It's
It's only like 30 seconds.
It's like back in Nam. You don't have any problems. You get back in the States, right? I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I wasn't in Nam. But either way, we're excited to have him here. He's super funny, you guys. He loves to give me a hard time. And for those of you that weren't listening to that show, Brett became somehow my director of the show. He conveniently, even though there's music that cues me into commercials, Brett was like, by the way, Christine, you're going into commercial right now. It was the funniest thing on the planet.
Well, you don't pay attention. Your guys in there telling you when to go to commercial, and there's a timer up on the screen. There's every cue you need to go to commercial, but yet you're still bah, 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 the whole time through.
Because you're supposed to. There's a
Are you going to introduce Willie? You just leave the poor
oh
guy
my
hanging.
God,
What are you doing here?
I am, but there's a process, Brett. You can't just argue with me during the whole show.
I'm not arguing with you.
Okay, so here we go. Oh my gosh.
We were
Brett Roberts, you
arguing-
guys know we do have an awesome in-studio guest. His name is Will Dearborn. Really excited to have him, you guys. In the film industry for a long time, television industry for years. So as you guys know, my show is called What Honesty Feels Like with Christine Sawicky. And I love to bring to you to the forefront to people, people that you can ask questions to that are successful at what they do in their career. Or, instead of like reading books and trying to figure it out some other way, I bring on attorneys that you can ask them directly, an entertainment attorney, what do I do? I bring on rappers, how to get into the music industry, or whatever that looks like. And today he's from more on the operational side for the feature film business and the television business. But as you all know, anybody can be a star. But you don't realize that it takes a team to make a star. Literally, it does. And I love checking into other people and seeing what it really takes to make things happen behind the scenes.
She's
just
nosy.
because... No. I'm sweet. I'm not nosy. No, but I love to see what it takes to make things happen because, like I said, all people see when they're looking at a television screen or seeing all this, like I have a producer that helps me out, like Brett actually was mentioning. I have time clocks, I have this, I have that, but all of those people make my show happen. It's just not me. I'm the one that you just see on the forefront. So I love to interview people like yourself because I want to hear from your side. You know what I mean? People don't see the day-to-day operations.
Absolutely.
So, Will, for the listening audience, where are you from?
I grew up in the Southeast, mostly in Kentucky and North Carolina,
Okay.
Tennessee. Grew up on a farm and
Cows?
horses.
Horses?
Yeah, horses.
Really?
My mom was an artist. My dad was a polo player. And
Like polo horses polo?
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
I've been in a couple polo matches.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of rich people there. I love it.
There's a lot of rich people. I'm sure they.
I ain't saying she's a gold digger.
But I know, right? I'm not saying she's a gold digger. Go ahead.
But yeah, grew up in the Southeast and in a rural setting. It was pretty cool, nice
Yeah.
family and stuff like that. And then took off. Kind of, you can imagine as a teenager, you don't want to necessarily spend your whole life on the farm.
Right.
Split. Went to college. Got a liberal arts degree. Went to Germany for a couple years.
Where'd you go to school at?
Davidson College.
Davidson College.
North
Where's
Carolina.
that?
It's near.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a liberal arts college.
Okay.
Little school near Charlotte. And studied literature and this and that, and went to Germany for a couple years, studied literature there, and that's where I got interested in filmmaking and studying film. And I was thinking about taking an academic approach to it, but I think it's having grown up on a farm and having been around machines my whole life, and having an artist mom, and I just very hands-on, so got interested in the cameras and the actual filmmaking process.
So, how different is farm life in Tennessee and then moving to LA?
Wasn't it kind of like you're producing one end, but now you're producing another end?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Just
basically, you're building things.
Are you a Gamecock fan?
No.
No, you're not a Gamecocks fan?
No, I'm in. So we were in Kentucky. So,
okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I just got interested and moved out here and wanted to get involved in the film business after having been studying a lot of films and making my own little Super 8 movies and whatnot after college.
Right.
And wanted to do it for real out here.
Right. Perfect. So you moved out here. Tell us what that experience was like. The transition, was it difficult? Because I come from Minnesota originally, and I can tell you right now, the culture, just the way people are here in California, is night and day from Los Angeles.
Certainly different, yes.
Whole different world. So what was that like? And did you find it hard to transition to that
I don't.
culture?
I mean, I had lived abroad for 2 years in a entirely different culture where I didn't speak the language and learned the language, and I'd already taught myself how to survive in different places.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a car. I thought I'm gonna either move to New York or to Los Angeles, and I had a nice car that I'd gotten for graduation, so I said, well, I'm going to move to Los Angeles because they have cars there. And so I moved out, and I actually I was very fortunate when I moved out here. A buddy of mine was living in Beechwood Canyon.
Love that place.
He was
It's
going to be gone
gorgeous.
for a week.
Right.
I just pulled into his garage with my car loaded up, pulled in, shut the door. He left for a week, and I had a week basically I got a pager. This was in like 97. I got a pager day one, and then started looking around on the bulletin board up at Beechwood Coffee Shop, and sure enough, found a place that was up on Holly Ridge Drive.
Holly Ridge Drive.
And the guys actually knew my buddy that I was staying with, just randomly.
Really?
And moved in there, and that was my first pad. I had a jacuzzi outside my own bedroom.
Your first place? You had a jacuzzi?
Place. It was unbelievable. It was crazy.
Craigslist?
It was like Beechwood Coffee Shop, and it was cheap, and it was like
it was cheap too.
It was cheap, and they were great guys, and we had a blast. And they had been out here for a while.
Right.
We went all over the place. You know, they showed me we went camping a bunch, and this is my first week.
Right.
I found an awesome pad in Beechwood Canyon. I could see the Hollywood sign from my room. It was awesome.
Really. And
So,
you were like, "This is the
this
life.
is it." I was
I
like,
have come to
okay,
LA."
all right, I can
Sounds
do
like
this.
a movie they make about someone coming to LA.
Yeah.
No,
Perfect
because
pad on
he's
the
actually got a
boardwalk.
good story. Like all the horror stories are left out. There's bad stories.
Like I
There's
said, it
bad
sounds like a
stories.
good
There's
story.
bad- I
I
have-
said it sounds like a good story.
No, that's what I'm saying. It is a good story, but normally people have really bad.
Really hard times.
Yeah.
25 seconds.
Oh, look at that. The co-host is here. He's seeing the clock. Do you see? They can't see it, can they? On the clock. Oh, there's a Hollywood sign. Look at you guys.
There we go.
That's where Will lived.
That's his pad right
his
there.
first spot.
The top floor right there.
That
Top
is not
floor. No.
struggling at
You
all.
slept on the
Will.
roof, right?
Yeah,
In a
on
tent.
the roof. I had to do the dishes every day.
There you go.
You got to do something. Was it for a director that wanted to date you?
No,
I'm just kidding. Hey, I'm keeping it real. This is Hollywood. This is what honesty feels like with Christine Sawicky. So for those of you that are listening, we have Will Dearborn in studio. So tune in after the commercial, you guys. This is gonna be fun.
We are the Three Guys Rant.
With Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69 The Three Guys.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's, the other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69 3 Guys. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on rantradionetwork.com.
DM Narc Radio Show is now airing on the Rant Radio Network. You've heard the Three Guys Rant refer to us as the Clam Chowder Power Hour. Now we get to bring our New England humor over to Los Angeles. We'll be airing Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern, and we'll cover everything from local to national politics and news. Guess what? We're uncensored too. I'm Dave. Join me and Nick Friday on the Rant Radio Network.
We're the Brothers Bear Podcast Live, and I'm your host, Sanj, and I'm always joined by
Edgar, Carlos Madrano, and this is a show where we talk about
Comics, movies, TV, video games, stand-up, music, and many more geeky things.
Catch us live on Rant Radio Network on Mondays from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m.
That's another commercial in the back.
Hi, I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez.
And I'm Kelly V. Dolan.
And we are excited to announce our show Live with Aaron and Kelly is on Rant Radio Network. What do we talk about on our show, Kelly?
We talk about everything from entertainment to business and tech, and we have a few laughs in between.
That's right. Go check us out on rantradionetwork.com. That's rantradionetwork.com.
Check it out.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. You are listening to What Honesty Feels Like with Christine Sawicky. I'm bombarded by guys. Lots of very cool guys.
Comfort zone.
It is my comfort zone. It is. I have all guy friends. I try to have girlfriends. I do. No, I do. But like when I have I'm serious. I really try to have girlfriends.
It's your story. Tell any way you want.
No, it's true. I was on the, one girl I even tried to introduce her to, but, girls are so catty out here. They're so not legit. Truly. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But, yeah, I do have a lot of guy friends. I love them all. They're great. You guys are great. Thank you for being in studio. I appreciate it. Yeah. For those of you that are just tuning in, we have Will Dearborn. Very, very, very awesome guy. We're lucky to have him in here. And he is part of the film and the television world. And kind of for those that are joining us now, like I had stated earlier, it's really important on the operational side for people to be very good at what they do. They make stars look good. So, Will, let's just start there. What exactly do you do in the film industry, and how'd you get there? Yay! It's Will! Did you do that? Oh, I thought you did that. I was like, oh, you have that. Never mind. Okay, so go ahead.
We're on the same page.
So generally, I describe myself as a cameraman, and that's basically involves pretty much. There's several departments in feature filmmaking or formal filmmaking. There are large crews. On features, there's as many as 80 crew members, sometimes 200 crew members that are doing the large feature films. I started in feature films and then transitioned to television, and now I work primarily in commercials, and then now that I'm shooting more and more. But I say generally I'm a cameraman, but it involves 3 jobs that I do. I assist still. They call it an AC, an assistant cameraman, who's in charge of putting together all the cameras for a cinematographer, make sure everything's going to be there, works well, all the lenses, we change all the lenses. It's usually about a camera package to shoot a commercial or a feature or television with the lenses is worth usually about $500,000 a package for the gear that we have for one camera. So somebody's got to take care of it, maintain it, and keep everything in focus and run the department. So the first AC is the head of the department and runs the camera department for the cinematographer, who oversees 3 departments on a film set. They oversee the grips, they oversee the electrical department, and they oversee the camera department.
And for those, because listening audience may not know exactly what you're talking about with film lingo. Mm-hmm. So what exactly is a grip? What do they do? And
a grip basically handles everything, but basically all the stands and everything and rags that are that don't plug in. So basically all the heavy gear, sandbag C-stands, diffusion types of the dolly. The dolly is the large device for pushing the camera around and doing camera moves and whatnot. The grips handle that. They're also in charge of safety.
There it is.
There we go. There's a crane. The crane right there is exactly a grip would have put that together and run it on the track. Okay. And then the operator is the guy that's actually in the camera department is operating the camera, framing the shots, composing the shots, executing the shots. Sometimes the cinematographer is also the camera operator. And then the electricians run all of the distribution of power to set and maintain and run all the lights and set up the lights, which are gigantic, expensive, and
hot,
deadly.
Yes.
Things. You can kill yourself easily with like that. Exactly.
Arvin's on a roll, man. Good job, dude.
Arvin's pulling photos out of nowhere.
You'd make a good grip.
That's very true. Okay.
So in the camera department, there's this. All of these are very hierarchical. It's very it's a lot like the military in that you have people or an office setting, people in the entry level positions.
People
that work
shooting
their way
at
up.
you.
No one's shooting at you.
Oh, okay.
They're just yelling.
Well,
at
that's
you.
not true.
Yeah.
Yelling. They might as well shoot at you.
They might as well shoot at you. Sometimes you wish you were dead. Definitely. But and that can be difficult because that's like, you know, you work your way up, and I certainly did. I started out as a film loader back when we still had film, and I put the film in the cameras and the magazines, and
There's
we would shoot
Christine
film.
in the bear outfit.
I thought she was to the left of the bear outfit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And look, the camera operator, he's turning the crank on the old-timey camera.
That is old school.
So and that all of over the past 100 years. So there, you know, all the different departments and positions evolved over time to give us our current set or crew environment. And pretty much the crew goes from job to job. We're all freelance. Most of us are in the union. We support families, and we try to, you know, we work. It's long hours.
Right.
Television was like 80-hour weeks. You know,
ridiculous,
it was insane. And you know, it definitely impacted my personal life negatively. It's a very difficult thing. I think that the television should fix some of their hours for sure. I'm very critical of that.
Get the union on that.
Well, we try, and I tell you that, you know, a lot of people die driving home because
It's
not
no joke.
safe.
Right.
You know?
You're doing 14-hour days, and they act like it's normal.
And they act like it's normal.
Correct. And don't you correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you turn around? You have 8 hours. The mandatory 8 hours of sleep, but then you're right back up again the next day, and you're still exhausted.
Exhausted, and then you find yourself midweek driving to work in rush hour, like exhausted, a zombie. You know. So yeah, I got out of TV. I did 4 years of it, and I was like,
call
done.
it a day.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore.
I actually just met a woman. She was an actress in television. I mean, in actresses, actors and actresses can go on set and they can be there for a short period of time, and then they can take off.
A lot of times, but if they're the lead actor, they can put in the time as well.
Do they?
So yeah, they can definitely put in the time. So it can be dangerous for them as well. So I don't know that there's definitely that divide though between the talent, the on-screen talent, and the crew behind the camera. So
Arvin's on a roll.
But
I was on the set with Danny Trejo in the movie Bullet coming out.
Mhm.
And that guy, man, he was there. There you go. He was there 24/7, working his tail off, keeping everybody pumped up the whole entire time. I mean, it was an honor to be on set with him.
That guy's a pro.
Yeah,
he's
a legitimate pro.
He's legit. I mean,
Yeah.
you get to work with somebody like that as a crew member. Even he comes on set. He knows how to interface with crew. He knows what his role is. He knows where to be. He knows his lines. It's total professional.
That's
and
one of the cars he used in Bullet.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's just great. I mean, I've gotten to work with some amazing actors, and that really, when they really stand out, you know, they really make life on set so
either
pleasurable.
makes or breaks it, right?
Yeah.
It really
I
does.
mean, wouldn't you mind too? Because I mean, I've been on sets myself, and it's like even when I first started out in the industry, when I first moved out to LA, I wanted to get a feel for it because I have a business background, but I needed to understand how movies were made and stuff like that, and so I did background seriously when I first started. And the way people act, I mean, a director can make or break a set. It goes from the top down, just like any business. And so if you have a spaz out director that's screaming at everybody,
spaz out.
nothing. Yeah, it's but it's like, true. You know what I mean? Like nobody wants to be on that set. I don't care. And then if you have to be there for 14 hours a day.
It makes a huge difference.
That's why I don't really understand how directors that are like that, or actors, or anybody, or if you're a grip or whatever that looks like, how do they get reemployed?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I wouldn't even deal with it. I just find somebody that's nice.
Well, it just depends. I mean, I think there's a lot of political stuff that goes on for the hiring of all the people that are in leadership positions, and not everyone. You have the pros, like definitely the pro directors that are great to work with. They know what they want. They've had years of experience. They know how to do the job. But there are the people. Some of these guys are just knuckleheads that get in there, and you see them asking you to do things or asking you to go faster, or they just have no idea. It's horrible because they don't even know that they don't know.
Right.
That's the problem.
I actually tweeted out the other day, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do."
Exactly.
A biblical quote, but seriously, it's like, okay, these people have no idea. Like, background people get paid. Like I said, I mean, when I first started, I didn't know anything. The way they would treat even just background people, like they're not human beings. I mean, I was the girl that like they called A-team. It was hysterical. I was hanging out with like the actors on every set, but I would see the way they treated some of the people, and it's disgusting.
No, it is really bad. There can be some horrible set environments.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Yeah,
but there, fortunately, I think that's the exception. It just makes a big impact on your daily life.
Right.
And you're stuck with those people for so many hours. But like I said, I mean, the majority of my experiences have been fantastic, and I really love my job. I mean, I like going to set in any of the capacity that I work currently. You know, whether I'm working as a camera operator, whether I'm working as an assistant cameraman, whether I'm working as a cinematographer. It's always different. You know, it always forces you to learn differently because it's a collaboration, because you're with a person that has a different skill set from the person that you may have just worked with before.
Sure.
It's going to challenge you in a different way.
So you're mentioning something really important, I think. You said that you've done camera work with your assistant camera person, or you're talking about multiple things that you do or you are capable of doing on set. Do you find that important for people that are getting into the feature film or the television industry to be able to maneuver through the industry on multiple levels?
I really think.
What's your opinion on that?
I think that working your way, I took an apprenticeship approach intentionally. Instead of going to film school, I wasn't really interested in film school, but a lot of people go to film school. I wanted to be on the set. I want to learn hands-on. So I worked at the bottom as a film loader for some of the most amazing cinematographers in the world. And it was a real privilege to get to load their film and get their coffee and clean the truck and do, the low
end.
This is
the grunt work.
The grunt work, yeah, it really is. And it's hard. And
you got to pay your dues somehow.
You got to pay your dues. Yeah. And I think paying your dues in any industry is
unless your last name's Spielberg or something. Yeah.
But even he had to pay his dues to a certain degree,
Or referring to his kids.
Clever. Oh, right. And so paying your dues, working your way up, it's the whole wax on, wax off thing, I just think you can't really replace it with book learning or with privilege and nepotism.
Sure.
Somehow that has to get drilled into you. And the challenge, of course, over the years is I think a lot of people get stuck in those lower positions. They get burnt out. They lose the spark, they lose the inspiration, they give up and move on to something else. And the challenge is to somehow stay inspired.
Right.
Find a way to,
It's not the paycheck keeping you inspired, huh?
Yeah, not necessarily. The boredom can be terrible.
It can be terrible, right? Because it becomes redundant and you're doing the same stuff.
You're doing these repetitive jobs, you're not getting really any respect. You don't feel like you lose a lot of self-respect because you're not where you want to be at a certain age, and you feel like you're doing something that's not necessarily beneath you, but maybe some of your high school friends or something are have moved on professionally, and you're still doing kind of what you may think are just a smaller jobs. So.
Right. Okay. Well, I want to talk a lot about that because I know you have mentors and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about your projects right after this commercial, Will. Thank you so much. For those that are listening, stay tuned. We have Will coming in after the commercial.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmart, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
Hey, bro, this is a good game. You know what would make it better?
What, bro?
A michelada.
A michelada? What's a michelada?
A michelada is somewhere in the middle of a Mexican Bloody Mary and a Mexican margarita.
Oh, I got you covered, bro.
You got a cup in your pocket?
No, sir. I got my pocket-sized michelada. Mucho macho michelada.
Pocket size?
Pocket size, so you can take it with you anywhere you go.
Where'd you get that at?
At the nearest convenience store, and you can also buy it at muchomachomichelada.com.
You know what will make it better? After we get drunk, if they had a line we could call.
We can call the drunk line. You can leave a message and then log on to the site and listen to your stupidity afterwards.
What's that number?
It's 855-MICHE-69.
What's that number again?
855-MICHE-69.
Awesome. Mucho macho michelada.
Ticketsurgeon.com. Reach us at 855-WIN-4-199.
Did you get caught speeding, texting while driving, or doing anything else you weren't supposed to do?
Give us a call. Don't miss work. Don't lose out on the money. Don't get any more points. What about your insurance? Let us fight for you. Ticketsurgeon.com at 855-WIN-4-199.
Monster Marketing Group, your one-stop shop for all your marketing needs. Anything you need to make that marketing and advertising campaign stand out, we're your people. Concept, design, production, social media, anything that you can dream up, we're going to make happen for you. And we can do it in a very quick turnaround. Please give us a call at 888-49-MONSTER.
Okay, everybody. What? Why are you laughing and shaking your head? Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to What Honesty Feels Like with Christine Sawicky. I have Brett Roberts in studio co-hosting with me. What do you guys think of him? I mean, what's he doing? I saw you, were you on your phone? You can't co-host with me on your phone.
I'm not on my phone.
But you were.
I was pulling up some names. You were giving me a hard time for not remembering names that was at our fights. Hey, that's an old photo of me and Randy Couture.
That is Brett. There he is.
That was at a poker tournament that Randy Couture put up, a charity poker tournament that actually knocked out some pretty big names. Hey, that's from our fights the other night.
Look at that's a nice shirt, Brett.
Thank you. Well, my wife dresses me good, man. She takes care of my wardrobe.
Somebody's got to take care of you.
There you go.
I can only imagine how great of a woman your wife is.
Oh, she's awesome.
On any level.
That was from the last Friday fights. That was the main event.
There you go. There you go.
Shout outs to my lovely.
There you go.
Yeah, that was the fights from last Friday.
That's terribly sexy.
Oh my gosh. Okay. These are all the fights. Brett, like I said, he's the CEO of Bama USA. We're lucky to have him here co-hosting with me tonight. Really great guy. Thanks for coming in, Brett. We appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Uh-oh, there's the ring girl search. That was a ring girl search a couple years ago.
How'd that go?
Actually, the one in the red, right in the middle, Grace, she actually was the first place winner of that. We do that every year at the Orange County International Auto Show. We have one, I think we're doing it again this year at the Anaheim Convention Center.
Oh, cool.
So we always do our annual ring girl search, even though we have our, you like the 213? We did it on purpose.
Yeah, I see that.
What
is a ring search?
Ring girl.
What does that entail?
Ring girl search entails a bunch of women getting up and and walking the stage, and they're voted in by either crowd applause, or we have celebrity judges that come in and decide on who's going to be the guest ring girl. And sometimes we sign them for a year, sometimes we sign them for a couple of shows. And
how much money do they make?
It depends on how good they are. I mean, some of them make good money because it's some.
Be showing her my O face. Oh. You know what I'm talking about. Oh.
Wow. Oh, really?
It depends. I mean, we get them a lot of exposure. I mean, we get a lot of, like Getty Images comes out to our fights now and shoots all of our celebrities and even our ring girls, they walk the red carpets and so forth. So we put a lot of publicity into the people that come work for us, give them some opportunity to hopefully, boost their career.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, we try.
Turn them into supermodels?
Yeah, well, Pamela Jean, our lead ring girl, I've known her since 2008. She's a good friend of mine. She's a fitness girl. She's doing a fitness contest. She's been in tons of magazines. I mean, Tap Out magazine, FHM. I can't remember all the ones she's been in, but she's done a ton of stuff, and she's got like 40,000 followers. And just a great girl overall. Smart, business-minded woman too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she's matter of fact, if you Arvin, if you go over to our website, you'll see some photos. I think they started loading them up yesterday. You can find some pretty good photos. But Gracie, it went in the middle right there. She was awesome. She was with us for about a year. Then she moved to Vegas and then Hawaii. She was fun to work with, and the crowd loved her. And I think the girl on the left in the stripes is Megan. She didn't ever win, but she was close, and we used her for a couple other gigs. But we treat our girls right. We have respectful women. We don't trap them out like a lot of organizations do. We put them in nice outfits, sexy but kid friendly,
respectable.
Absolutely. We have a lot of kids at our shows, so we don't want to. We're not into the floss and all that stuff. It's just inappropriate when you're a live sports entertaindement company. There's a shot of Herb Dean. He refs a lot of our shows. He's one of the most recognizable refs in the industry. Good guy, real good guy. So we just keep putting things on. That's our cage in the background. I think that was actually at the Fit Expo, which is almost every January here in LA. We do a lot of shows there and MMA demonstrations and bring out a bunch of celebrities, do autograph signings, stuff like that.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, we're diversified. We jump into anything that's testosterone driven. So.
Well, I guess that's the industry to be in then, right?
Well, I mean, you have to. I mean, all of our demographic is, I mean, if you like fights, chances are you're going to like a lot of, like cars and other sports too. I mean, let's face it, mixed martial arts has only been around for, just a little bit over 20 years.
Sure.
So what were people doing before that? They had other interests and so forth. They did other things too. So, we follow in the same precincts of like the, X Games, stuff like that.
Sure.
Adrenaline pumping stuff. I mean, that's the reason why GoPro came on board with us a while back, and we have some good sponsors like that too. Budweiser, and because we put on action-packed sports in our demographic.
We got to give our boy Patrick a call.
We
got to tap into Patrick. I don't know. Yeah, Patrick. He's trying.
Patrick, if you're listening, you're getting in the cage next time you show up at the fight. Simple as that, dude.
I actually went to one of your cage fights with Patrick, and that's the reason I went to the cage fight. Patrick introduced us, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, great guy. So hi, Patrick. Shout out to you. We want your money, all of it.
Yeah. I mean, Jim Beam, come on, dude.
Jim Beam. I don't what are you waiting for? Christmas?
Where are we at? How many more people do we need to bring to the show?
Right.
To get Jim Beam in the cage.
Well, we're gonna call Patrick after this. Give him a hard time. I think we've worked really hard, and I think that we've been great friends for a long time, and we deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Right? We're just kidding. Okay, so anyway, back to Will. Let's just jump back into Will now. Okay, for those of you that are just tuning in, operational side of feature film and television business, and we are going to go into some of your projects. I know that you've done quite a few different things. Like I said, numerous years in film and television, feature films, television, all that kind of stuff. So if you can start with, let's go with The Night of Forevermore.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start there.
Okay.
So if you can explain to the listening audience kind of what that is and what it means to you, and how did you get involved in all of it?
Sure. So as I said before, I'd been working in sort of like in this apprenticeship style up through the ranks in the camera department, always in camera department, learning a lot, doing all these things. Eventually, you find yourself wanting to do more projects of your own and getting to shoot and getting to do and compose and whatnot. And I had been to transition and prepare myself to start shooting and get out of like just the technical side of things. I started a creative practice in photography.
Sure.
And I was shooting a lot on the side, a lot of still photography, a lot of art photography, shooting my own little projects. And as I was shooting these little side projects, little projects for people that wanted to do things, those kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I found myself in the past few years with opportunities to do like serious, like professional shoots. Right. And that's been the past few years. I now have like a number of projects. Night of Forevermore is one we did a year ago, actually. And that's for this artist named Marnie Weber. It's somebody I knew from my neighborhood in Altadena. She's this world-renowned artist, has done all these crazy projects, and we started collaborating on it. And the challenge with Marnie is that her background is not only sculpture and painting and collage and fine art, so she's in the fine art world, and she also did a lot of experimental filmmaking, making these crazy things with Super 8 and doing things with video and not your conventional approach to filmmaking. So when she approached me with this project and she wanted to do more of a formal project with like formal dolly moves, with very lit, and do it in a short amount of time, I was having to really draw upon my experience to do something to formalize the process for her, because she didn't know the language to interface with myself and the rest of the crew. So
she didn't know how to describe to you what was in her brain.
Exactly. And we had a shot list, and we did that kind of thing, but it was really fell upon my shoulders, and I had an assistant director I was working with to really kind of help her along to make sure that she was getting everything she wanted, so that when she cut it, she was going to have all the pieces. Now that's a very different style or set of responsibilities than, say, working with my friends on Expired, the thing I did for Channel 4 in England. We did this short film, and the guys I did that with I know from working on the Coen Brothers movies. They're assistant directors. They've been at it as long as me. They've been working on sets, doing the drudge work for a really long time, and but are great writers. But they know exactly what they want to do. They're very skilled. They have all this experience, and so we were able to do a very different type of project where we were on the same page immediately. It was a very close collaboration, and it freed me up to do a lot more on the lighting and composing and execution of what they wanted, and allow me to do kind of what I think was better work.
Right.
And in its own sort of way, more formal.
Right, and like the lighting can be so important.
So
and
important.
It can set a mood. I mean, the editing and all that stuff. Just for the listening audience that's not on the operational side. Just for example, the project that I put together, broadcast. The mood is very important. So the lighting has to be a particular way. The shots have to be very close and kind of blurry kind of stuff. You know, it's very, very, very important that all this comes together as a puzzle. So
absolutely. And so much of it is so much of it is subliminal for the audience, and maybe not necessarily, they may not be able to articulate what it is about the shot or visually or the editing or the production design or the wardrobe or all the different elements that come together. They might not be able to articulate what it is about it that's creating a certain feeling, but it all comes together, successfully or not, to create a certain feeling that is going to draw the audience in and make them want to watch.
Right.
And make them and it's going to connect them with the stars in the movie. And I think that's something that, my approach is you learn that the hard way, which is putting in the time and being on set and really working your way through it. At least that's been my approach. There's a lot of ways to skin the cat, though.
Right. Okay, so you talked about The Night of Forevermore. You also talked about your project Expired. But what about the fashion film for Chance called that whole thing?
That was a really
Saturday.
cool that was a really cool project because I was a friend of mine who's a fashion photographer was asked to direct this promotional film for the fashion line, and it was going to be in their pop-up at Barney's in New York for this introduction of this new line that a friend of his had come up with. She's a very particular, very, very design savvy person that runs that line. That it's her company. Andrew Painter is the director, and he is a very skilled photographer, but asked me to come in and shoot, and knows that he doesn't know video and motion picture. So it was really an honor to get to come in and collaborate with him on that way.
Right.
We visually worked very well together.
Right. So out of all of these projects, because we're going to move into the next segment after this, but there's also an Emmy-nominated project that you worked on. The episode for 24/7.
Yes.
So as you know, that's a really, really big thing. So we're going to discuss that and more, you guys, right after the commercial. So stay tuned with Will Dearborn on What Honesty Feels Like.
Looking for a delicious, fresh family meal that's ready when you are and easy on your budget? Welcome to Piara Pizza. We make our pizzas with handmade dough, 100% real cheese, and tomato sauce blended with our own spices. Nothing is ever frozen. We always have large pepperoni and cheese pizzas fresh and waiting for you for only $5. Or choose one of our specialty pizzas. We have veggie, meat lovers, supreme, and Hawaiian. Add an order of our amazing hot wings, cheesy bread, or breadsticks. Our locations are ultra-modern, ultra-clean, and open 7 days a week. Visit any one of our locations today, or check us out on the web at www.piarapizza.com. Piara Pizza. Fresh, hot, and ready for you when you come in. Stop in for your Piara Pizza today.
A home is the biggest investment in most people's lives. Buying or selling should be a positive experience.
Whether you want to be a wealthy real estate investor or just trying to find a place to call home. At AJR & Associates, we focus on the client's needs.
We understand the market better than most. Let us bring the value to you and make the right choice.
AJR & Associates, making your dream house a reality. Call us today for a free consultation at 562-882-1976. Or you can log on to www.hrrealtors.com.
With a track record of great results, bringing knowledge, wisdom, and expertise to you. Hablamos español.
We're the Brothers Bear Podcast Live, and I'm your host, Sanch, and I'm always joined by
Edgar, Carlos Mandrano, and this is a show where we talk about comics, movies, TV, video games, stand-up, music, and many more geeky things. Catch us live on Rant Radio Network on Mondays from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m.
That's another commercial in the back.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on RantRadioNetwork.com.
DM Narc Radio Show is now airing on the Rant Radio Network. You've heard the three guys Rant refer to us as the Clam Chowder Power Hour. Now we get to bring our New England humor over to Los Angeles. We'll be airing Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern, and we'll cover everything from local to national politics and news. Guess what? We're uncensored too. I'm Dave. Join me and Nick Friday on the Rant Radio Network.
Okay, everybody, we're back. Do I have any hair sticking up, Brett? No? Don't answer that question. God, we're going to argue after this. Holy shoot. Okay, so we got a caller, you guys. We're going to go right into that. This is our last segment. So, line one, it is. Hold on, you guys. And caller, are you there? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, are you there?
Yes.
That's my wife.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Hi.
What's up, baby doll?
Hi.
Is
I was
this
calling to tell
wifey?
you dinner's ready.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Dinner's ready.
Okay, what's the wife's name?
Carol.
Carol. I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Brett here thinks he knows how to handle women, right? But my question to you is, how do you handle him?
Lots of wine.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, are you
For her,
are you
for
smoking
her.
pot? Are you at a smoking pot level?
No, he's the best. He is the best husband in the world. He really is. He makes me laugh every day.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
He is a lot of fun, I must say.
And that's after I'm done standing in the mirror, in front of the mirror.
What's that?
That's like between you two. You know what? I mean, I don't know where the show went. And is that you guys?
Yep, that's my wife and I at a charity event.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Healing Tyler is a good kid that we did some charity work for.
There you
I'm
go.
glad you kept it G-rated, though, Christine. I wasn't quite sure where you were going to go with, hey, Brett really says he can handle women.
Oh, no. See, listen, my mind is not in the gutter.
Well, see, my wife and I, we were friends before we dated.
Yeah.
And she learned a lot about me and my past, which was really odd that she accepted my past because I had no intentions of being married when I met her, and things just completely flipped because we were friends, and then we got together, and it was like we can't go backwards to being friends. So it's been the best relationship that I've ever had. And I'm one of those guys that will never, ever say anything negative about my wife and to anyone. You know, what stays between her and I is just between her and I. But, you know, I can't stand the guys that are always bagging on their wives. Oh, my wife's such a pain in the butt, this, that, and the other. I'm like, dude, you married her.
Why you married her?
Yeah. I mean, that just tells me right there you make bad choices or whatever.
Right?
But, I mean, because she's my teammate. She's my, my right hand. She's everything. So.
Well, thank God. At least you're respectful because...
Well, in this day and age, you have to. I mean, there's divorce rates over 50%. Also, their nonsense. I don't want to be divorced. I mean, I got an awesome wife. She lets me be me, and that's the easiest way to handle me is let me be me.
Well, there you go, Carol.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're the wife of the year. Just ask Brett.
Likewise, she does the same. So.
Oh my gosh, this is so cute.
She's my biggest supporter. She's my biggest fan. She lets me. I mean, come on. I mean, we got together. And I had a good job making good money. Then 2.5 years into my relationship with her, I'm like, hey, honey, I got this idea of starting an MMA promotion company. I'm gonna spend all of our money and try to build a show. I mean, are you okay with that? And mind you, I'm not gonna have an income for 5.5, 6 years. Going on. Are you cool with that? And she's like, yeah, okay.
Oh, well, that's really sweet. See, that is a good story because, I mean, I'm one of those, at my age right now, where I look out and most of the people I know are married. I was in an 11-year relationship, loved the relationship while I was in it, Didn't last. It's okay. Things didn't work out. Perfectly okay. But I look around, and most people that I know that are married, and I'm like, why are you even married?
Yeah.
So it gives me no motivation to even think about being married because, quite honestly, I see nothing positive about it. So this is a really good thing that you guys are like this.
Well, you got to be honest with each other.
Hey, it's true. Will, wouldn't you agree?
I would absolutely agree.
Oh
That's
my
fantastic.
God! And how many people spend their life posing for the cameras, pretending like it's a white Fet's family, and then you all of a sudden 6 years later, out of nowhere, the perfect family you thought existed is no longer there.
Yeah.
All too many.
You gotta try to outdo each other in a good sense. Like she said, I try to make her laugh every day. I'm a very sarcastic person, so I have fun with her. And quite frankly, she's around me all the time. So she's sometimes how do you say it, honey? The butt of my jokes, if you will.
Oh, I'm either the subject or the audience, is what I always say.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
She's a
Hey,
good
but at
sport.
least it's working.
Yeah,
it's working.
Yeah, tomorrow's our 8-year anniversary.
Wow!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, 8 years.
There you go, Carol.
Yeah.
8 years. There
Made
you
it
go.
past the 7-year itch.
Right? Did you have a 7-year itch? That's so cute.
I can't see what he's doing.
I can.
It's not me, baby. It's Arvin. He's doing all the.
It's
the
Arvin, our
R.
producer over there. Ooh. Okay. Well, thanks for calling in, Carol. We appreciate
Oh,
it.
it was fun. Thank you.
All right. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Show me some respect, boy.
That's so funny. Okay, so let's get back in. What a sweet lady.
She's awesome.
I'm actually impressed. I really didn't think that Brett, you had it in you, but congrats.
Well, you gotta
Well, I
find
do.
the gem, right? I mean,
I suppose.
you guys, women are easy to deal with. You just gotta, figure out. Gotta get the right one. I mean, that's all I was to it.
That's true. Very true.
You
Very
guys
true.
think you have everything figured out, but you really don't.
I don't think I have anything figured out. Okay, so here we go. So
I'm glad you admitted that.
Well, no, I mean, actually, that's not true. I think I have a good handle on it, a good understanding from. I have a very different perspective than you, though, just based on experience, and it comes from my perspective as to what I see and what I like. I like to be a realist, an honest person out there, and just from what I've seen, I have your view is different than mine, so we're gonna have to agree to disagree.
Okay.
Cool. Look at that, great co-host. Agree to disagree. Okay, so let's go back into Will. Will, we've got about 6 minutes left, so I want to get back. Okay, we've got, as for what I was talking about before the commercial came on, Emmy-nominated episode 24/7. What's it like to be part of something that is Emmy-nominated?
Well, that was really fun. It was unexpected. In that instance, my friend John Tipton, who is the DP on the DP's stands for Director of Photography or the cinematographer on that show, asked me to join him for a few different episodes of 24/7 as his additional camera operator. So he was operating a camera, I was operating a camera, and the two of us were making the show together under the direction of the producers, and then we had our own team, that was also helping us in support. So
Is that what you produced? I think this is
some bread.
No,
it's the
pie cake.
donuts. It's the donut. It was that episode actually. Yeah, that was it. And so John is a super talented cinematographer. He has a background. He studied photography in Paris. He happens to also be from Kentucky, which is kind of
cool.
Unique. Great guy, but also he's been somewhat of a mentor in that situation because I'm basically going out and collecting more images for him, working underneath him basically as his operator. Great opportunity. I was just enjoying it for the experience. We went to the Philippines twice, went to Mexico City. We were in some really dodgy situations and also in some really amazing places.
What do you mean by dodgy?
Just in these tiny. Well, I always had an armed guard with me with a submachine gun
in the Philippines
because I would go out by myself and go into little villages and people were great, not a problem. But there was a threat against Americans while we were there the last time,
right?
And we just had to be careful.
Sure.
And same in Mexico City, we had to be careful what we were doing. We didn't really. Mexico City actually they wouldn't let me go out by myself in that instance. However,
Mexico City has a lot of restrictions. I mean, I tried to send a drawing to one of my friends. He's originally from Mexico City. I can't even send mail there.
It's kind of too bad because it was amazing. Like Mexico City's beautiful. I had the most amazing
Heard the
time.
same thing. Yep.
You know, we were staying at in Polanco, which is like the Beverly Hills, in the W Hotel right
Yeah.
in Mexico. It's great, just beautiful, lovely people. But you just had to be careful. But the experience of working on that was terrific in and of itself. When John called me and told me that the show had been nominated, it was fantastic. We met in New York and actually went to the Sports Emmy ceremony. We did not win. We still got to participate in the ceremony in Lincoln Center, and we had a great weekend. Got to see all of our friends that we had been working with there. But just that fact, just to sort of, get recognized for something in that way, or be part of a project that is much bigger than yourself. It's really an honor. It's
Which
really a lot
is
of fun.
incredible. Yeah. Congratulations to you on that.
Yeah, it's fun.
And then also I want to bring up too your feature film project that you just finished up.
Just released in Brazil.
Okay.
It's called Man Camp, and it was a very low budget. It was my first feature that I shot a year ago for a lovely director named Brian Brightly. It had a really very cool cast, and I don't know what the release schedule here is, but it's slated to come out at some point. The challenge of that project, the people were lovely. We had a really good time. We shot it all in LA in 14 days. Very restricted
this is crazy
budget.
Because my former guest Joey DiDio and Mario Mukes, I don't know if you saw that show, but they shot, I think they're filming like 17 days.
Yeah,
Isn't it supposed to be like 30-some days for feature films? What is going on?
Very fast. It's
Yeah.
It's very, 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 very difficult to shoot a feature in 2 weeks.
Right.
Time. It was over 3 weeks, but regardless, you need a certain amount of footage to cut
Right.
together
Yeah.
to make a 90-minute piece.
Yes.
That's just all there is to it. So it was extremely challenging. Not only that, it's my first project, and I have all these budget restrictions, and my crew is like constantly changing and this and that. But it was a great
success.
experience. It ended up being a success, and honestly, I'm grateful for I was drawing upon, like I said, the experience of years of like doing all the grunt work and knowing and having, I drew on that a
Right.
ton. And so did my director, was drawing on my experience. His background is a writer. He doesn't
Wow.
necessarily have a ton of set experience, and so I was finding that I needed to help him out with blocking, figuring out how to do the shots, this and that.
But everybody, like any project, you pull it together, you make the project work, or you don't.
And
It's either you
play
sink
to
or
your
swim.
strengths.
Yeah.
You play to your strengths, and he's a great director and so good with the actors and getting performance that I was able to. We complemented each other very well.
Perfectly.
So it worked out really.
Okay,
nice.
so if you just in the last minute we have here, any advice that you could give to anybody trying to follow in your footsteps?
Run.
Run.
Run very
away.
fast. Look for another profession.
Don't be late to work.
Yeah.
That's one thing you learn is you're always on time. I don't know. I'm pretty punctual, so
Yeah.
that's been a good lesson. But also just to be
Were you
patient.
here before, Christine?
I was.
Yeah.
He was here at like 7:11.
I believe it. You're always late.
No, I'm not. Who are you talking to?
Oh, don't act like you're on time, please.
No, I'm totally on time everywhere I go. I'm really punctual too.
And the other thing that I want to say
It's
is
your story.
is having some sort of creative side while you're doing. If you have to work in some grunt portion of the industry or industry, just to work on a creative, passionate thing that you keep on the side, because when you get the opportunity to do the creative thing, you want to draw upon that.
Right, and you want to be able to put that into
You want to
your
have that
project.
experience that you can bring to the game.
Perfect. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us in studio,
thank you
Will.
for having me.
This is What Honesty Feels Like with Christine Sawicky, co-hosted with Brett Roberts, Bama USA.
Hurrah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Tune in
Good
next
job,
week.
Will.
Bye.